My mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, and dementia all at the same time. It's been hard, man. So, focusing, losing my father, my mother having issues with my other siblings, so, she ended up living with me.
Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Tony.
That sounds great, Jesse. It's been a minute I don't talk to you. Last time I spoke to you, it was about 2 years ago.
Wow, that has been a minute.
It's been a long minute, Jesse, but I always stand in the back just listening to you, enduring what I was going through. I went through, well, not that I went through, I let go. My daughter's case, I was in court for 4.5 years. Oh, for that, I went through it all. Supervised visits, mental evaluations, everything that you can put in hand. They had given me 6 hours every Sunday to see my daughter. After those 6, I had 6 weeks with my daughter. We had an emergency hearing saying that her mother got a job in Texas. The judge completely dismissed me. At this moment, she claimed more money than me annually. So the judge was like, not in these words, but basically he said, with all that money you're making, basically she don't need a father.
Wow.
Make the long story short, Mr. P. I was supposed to get my daughter for like summer times, here and there, the Christmas thing, all the paganism things, whatever. Long story short, I haven't seen my daughter. Every time I ask to see my daughter, she says that she needs to take time from her job and she needs to come down to Florida because she needs to be here. I didn't do 4.5 years in court to end up being supervised by the woman who doesn't allow to see my daughter, our daughter, because it's our daughter.
Right.
Now, I went through it all, man. I don't know if you recall, I lost my father, or for that, my mother. My mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, and dementia all at the same time. It's been hard, man. So, focusing, losing my father, my mother having issues with my other siblings, so, she ended up living with me. So, with all of that in hand, having to deal with my daughter's issue at the same time, she was supposed to call me 4 nights, 20 minutes a night. To be honest with you, the phone calls got shorter. Just like I spoke to you in 2021. You told me you said it yourself. The phone calls are going to stop one day. Everything is going to come to an end, and you just got to endure the pain and allow the Lord to take over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Peterson. It made no sense when you said it. I was a little bitter about it because I didn't understand how you just told me straight up just to let it go, and you had so much to say to all these different people. But your logical mind as a man starts, you start working with what you was left. And my man, I've been through it all. I stood in the dark. And I remain my faith. That's the hardest thing because it's really easy to have faith when you're in the light and everything is going fine.
Yeah.
It's really easy, Mr. Peterson. Yeah. But when you go in the dark and you start going through it and, you're walking through those dark alleys and nobody's there with you. My brother said in my face, I don't need my mother in my house. My sister, completely kicked her out of the house. So, having a mother, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Peterson. I'm not her favorite. I'm not like her. I'm like, how the mother is always she always has the favorite one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was not the favorite one,
What a mess.
So, well, it happens, it happens, and now I kind of understand. Yes.
Go ahead.
Do I continue?
Yeah.
Now I understand kind of how my mom has never been a lovable person. You understand me? But now with the sickness, I wonder how long she's been suffering from that because it's been the same behavior. Now it's just being justified because of a mental illness. Mr. Peterson, my question is, now after all this, I haven't seen let me tell you, she had a stay-away order. The judge put a stay-away order between me and my daughter's mom because I texted her saying that God don't like ugly. He said I was a physical threat, and they put a stay-away order. They took my CCW, my permit to carry a pistol, and they never gave it back to me, Mr. Peterson. It's been since 2017 I haven't seen my permit. They completely violated all my rights, my amendments, everything. I haven't seen my daughter in 2 years. Now, last week, I was out, I was working. My mother said she came to my house with some other guy, pulled up in my house, and that guy got off, gave my mother, she served my mother. She's suing me for child support because she wants more money. And the request is saying that she needs more money because she needs to pay child care. One of the reasons why she was allowed to go to Texas because she said she had all these opportunities. But you know how Texas is like $2 a month to pay rent and all of that. And so she said she was going to buy a house. She was going to become Princess Elizabeth. I don't know what she was going to do. She was going to do all these different things, and all her family was over there. Now she wants more money because there's nobody to take care of our daughter, so she needs to pay for my daughter to be taken care of.
Amazing.
She hasn't bought a house. She's still renting. In the past 2 years, Mr. Peterson, I like I said, man, I've been through it all, man. But I'm going to be honest with you. I realized listening to you how sensitive I was and how into my feeling I was before, becoming the man that I am today. I have completely changed in the past 2 years. I'm more in peace with myself. I have a lot more control of my thoughts. I'm capable of breathing and being comfortable with who I am. After all this offensive things that the court says to you in court, because they just don't like you. My question is this, Mr. Peterson. It's been the hardest thing to let go, but now I see why. After 2 years of enduring all this that I've been going through, plus my mom on top of it all, and my mom is kind of violent, so now I have control. I don't even know how to say it because I have control, but I don't have control because it's not me controlling the situation. I feel like it's the Holy Spirit, but I'm just following along and I'm living on an everyday basis. You understand me? I don't even know if I'm making sense because it's the craziest part is waking up and having no control of nothing. But as the time goes, everything falls into place, Mr. Peterson. It's amazing. What do I do? Do I get a lawyer? Do I just give in? I'm gonna be honest with you. I really have I really don't want to deal with this anymore. Since my daughter never calls me, they called me like maybe once or twice a week when I was lucky. And then lately, my daughter didn't want to talk to me. You know what I mean? She always had some movie to watch or some new toys, as always. So, it hurts more for your daughter to reject you than to play the full game of, let's have a relationship by phone and all of that. So to be honest, Mr. Peterson, I don't know if I did right. I just stopped answering the phone calls whenever it is that they do call, which is maybe once or twice a week, and maybe it rings once or twice and she just hangs up. I'm into the next level that I feel her calling me to court, I can expose and be like, Your Honor, I haven't seen my daughter in 2 years. And then now she has the audacity to come back asking for more money. So that could be the opportunity that I've been waiting on, that I've been so calmly waiting. Or should I just, you can see where I'm lost, right?
Yes. When do you go to court again?
I just got served. They said I have 20 days to get me a lawyer. So I haven't really I called 2 lawyers over here in Florida, Miami, Florida. I didn't mean to say where I'm at, but whatever. And one of the ladies, she's supposed to have like a big name in the courthouse. And she talked about, I don't do Second Amendments. I don't deal with that. So she kind of rejected me. She said my case was too crazy. She said she didn't have any gun. The second one said that she just didn't defend men at all. She said, no, I work with the mothers, so I can't do nothing for you. So, you know, you see where the whole thing is going. So I'm like, what do? Do I go spend some money and get me a real guy that's going to walk in and you see some lawyers walk in the courthouse and the judges say hi to them. Some lawyers walk in the courthouse and they have no saying. You understand me? So what do I do, Mr. Peterson? I mean, you know, I really don't have any efforts of I'd rather just, I mean, the way I see it, I think my daughter's going to have to suffer so she can see for herself who her mother is, you know? And I don't know, Mr. Peterson, and I'm in peace with myself. It's the craziest thing that I'm about to say right now. I'm in peace with myself, but I have no control of anything. I have never been in this position before, Mr. Peterson. You know what I mean? I always thought I was the kid holding the situation down. Oh, I got this. Oh, I can handle this, and I always come up with a solution. But now ever since I let go of it, I thought it was the craziest thing you said to me. You know, and Mr. Peterson, thank you, man, for telling me what I didn't want to hear, but what I needed to hear. You understand me? I don't know if it makes sense.
It does. And so your question is, what should you do at this point?
Do I get me a lawyer? Do I go and spend my money and give these people my free money? I mean, not my free money. Do I give them free money? Because, you know, they're not going to do it. I feel like they're not going to do anything about it.
They're not. But
you know
listen,
what I mean?
Here's what I recommend. Are you doing the silent prayer?
I'll be a liar if I tell you yes. I don't know what it is, though, Mr. Peterson. I follow every little thing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't go to the devil's houses. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't look for these mud buckets out here. You know, I mean, so girls, you know what I mean?
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I'm not, Mr. Peterson.
Here's what I recommend. You go.
But I tell you why I don't do it.
Why?
Because I honestly, I feel like, I hate to say this, but I feel like I'm not being heard. You know what I mean? I've been in this case. My daughter's 6 years old. I've been in this since my daughter's birth. You know, and I feel like some people, they're just, you know, we're just not worth it. You know what I mean? I feel like if I'm not worth it, if I stay on my 2 feet and keep walking forward, and I stay on the narrow road, maybe one day I'll be worth it. You know what I mean?
But listen, Tony. Number one, not one human being, there's not one, me or anyone, who is in control of anything. The idea that we can control something is a lie from the pit of hell. We are not in control of anything, and never will, never have been, never will be. And it's good that you have realized that so that you can let go. But here's what I recommend, and it's up to you, that you start doing the silent prayer, and I promise you, you got my word, even though I'm not God, He will hear you when you let go and let life happen on its own. But as long as you're, you know, speaking all these words to Him, you're not speaking to Him, you're speaking to the devil. But when you sit still and allow Him to take over, He will separate you from the devil, and He will guide your life, and you will always see what to do. There'll be no question about it. But you got to let go by sitting still so you can let go and let His will be done. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's going to blow your mind that you will be fine. Everything will be all right. And
I've been on silence, Mr. Peterson, for 2 years. I don't even talk to the voice in my head. You know what I'm saying? I realized, since I was a little puppy, I always realized the voices in my head were incredible crazy, you know what I mean? Like the crazy thoughts, like, punch this kid in the neck, grab this girl and punch her in the face, throw this over the trash can, when you're in school,
Yeah.
So I always thought, damn, it's crazy thoughts, And, sometimes you give in, sometimes you get over,
Yeah.
But, now as a man, I'm like, when I see that my head is trying to catch my attention, my first thought in my head is like, yo, son, I rebuke you. You know what I'm saying? Me and the Lord rebuke you, and the thoughts go away. My man.
Nice.
And then when a different thought is telling me to do something that I really want to do, and I reject it, it's different, man. I feel free inside. I don't feel no guilt. You know what I mean? I don't talk to the devil, Mr. Peterson.
Good.
But he continues to talk to me, son. I don't know how to tell this kid to walk it off. You know what I mean? I don't.
But you don't have to. You can't, because the real power to fight the darkness is the light of God. He will do it for you. All you need to do, it sounds like you're doing it somewhat, is to be aware of the devil. And all thoughts, no matter what they are, is of the devil. So you just need to be aware. And so I recommend, do what you want, of course, that you do the silent prayer and just watch.